So first of all, this new grant, it's a lot of money. And are you excited? How will this benefit your students?
No, all the money's for me. No, I'm just kidding. It will be. I hate to use the cliche, game changer. For the last 17 years, we drive off of campus, up 7 miles up the road to a golf course to do these dinners and to cook in a real life environment. To have that where the students actually are living on campus and cooking on campus and bringing the general public onto campus to see what a cool campus we have, I think will be huge for them. They miss out a lot on what goes on campus because they're always off campus. So they miss out on a lot of the student fun nights and what goes on campus. So I think this will make them more integrated into campus life as a whole. So I'm excited for them because they don't have to lose their parking space. Because they drive up there and they come back, there's nowhere to park again, because we all know how parking is. A slight tetchy arrangement here, but I think that they'll be more immersed in student life at Iowa Central, feel more part of campus life in general.
So they're excited.
Oh,
Are
yeah.
they more excited than you?
No one's more excited than me. It's been a while since someone spent $1 million on me, and actually it's only about 6 years since they did that. But,
What?
Yeah, because I used to be in a vending kitchen, a little tiny vending kitchen downtown in Fort Dodge, and then when they built the new cafeteria, they converted the old cafeteria, and we managed to get about 1.4 million to do that. But that was 12 years ago now, so this is just another extension. But what it's going to do is going to free up more space to have more students from high schools coming in too. So the big part of the academy is high schoolers coming to cook alongside with my current students, and nearly all those students that come and do that come filter into the system and join us and get their degree here as well. So it's going to be from 17-year-olds up to my oldest student's been 62 years old. So we've got the full age spectrum.
So you cook the food and you trap them in and just grab them.
Well, once you
food.
start eating well, it's hard to say no to good food, right? That's the plan. So.
What was your first reaction when you found out about the grant?
I can't say that but I was rather happy, shall we say. We actually put a lot of work into it. There was a grant writers, and I had to gather a whole bunch of information. The community wrote lots of letters saying, yeah, this is great for us. We love having the students at Willow Ridge. It's a benefit to the area, the community. We've been voted as the best restaurant in Iowa that wasn't really a restaurant, because we're only here for 8 months of the year and we disappear. And we feed on average, numbers-wise, we probably feed about 9,000 people every year at Willow Ridge with all the events and the functions that we do. Last year we had, I think they spent about $70,000 on our food. So there's a demand for it because most of the restaurants serve very similar food, and we're the odd ones out. We're just talking about our snails that are going to be on the French menu next week. But 300 or 400 Iowans will come out and eat snails at Willow Ridge from Fort Dodge area. So that's pretty cool.
Snails.
You won't be eating snails? I'm disappointed.
Those are delicious.
They are good. So, yeah.
So would you say you're most looking forward to for this project? Like, do you have any concerns?
No, challenges don't give me concerns. They're just challenges. So designing the restaurant is going to be fun. We're adding another kitchen to our already existing 3 kitchens on campus. So we're going to have what we call a plating kitchen. So it's going to have hot lamps you pull down. It's going to have hot cupboards, hot plates, and lots of areas for the kids to actually sort of bring food forward and then plate it onto plates. That's all going to be visible to the general public. So that's going to be pretty neat. We're actually talking about putting a circular station in the middle of the restaurant, so we can do little live demonstrations out in the restaurant too. So if you wanted to watch someone sear scallops or open oysters, we'll have a little show kitchen in the middle as well, just so we can have some flames and action, because if it burns down, it burns down, right? So we've got insurance, we're good. So but I very much want to get the kids out, so the customers and the guests and the families who are coming to watch them, that they feel involved in it as well. Just the general design. I love designing restaurants. It's what I do. I've been doing it for 40 years now. This is what.
So you get a lot of creative liberties, what I'm hearing. Like, so you're really heavily involved in this designing of this new restaurant?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the problem is architects make things really pretty, but are they actually functionable? I've eaten in in great looking restaurants, but the staff hate working there because it's laid out so badly. So having someone who from the other side who designs them purely in mind of the staff first and getting the food to the tables, and actually the customers should come last because the food's most important, and getting the wine and getting the drinks to the table is really important. But most places, they put vases in the way or bookshelves, or they've got something, and like, how do we get through that? So, yeah, I'm excited to get on the design process. We've got architects involved already. I'll let you into a secret. Pinterest is a big help. I've already got a restaurant over in Sac City, and we literally designed that restaurant completely from images on Pinterest. And we stole 1,000 restaurant ideas and and merged them all into one restaurant. So I'm doing the same thing now. So
That's really smart, actually.
The coffee shop, how will the coffee be implemented into the students' learning, and how will it impact the schedules?
I don't know, it seemed like a good idea at the time to put a coffee shop in. Well, I watch my students go to Starbucks, come back, spend $7, $8 on a coffee, and a lot of them have jobs as baristas in local coffee shops, and it's a booming business in America. So I think to the level of like $3.5–4 billion are spent on coffee every year in the US. So why not incorporate that in the program? Because there's a lot of employment from it. Even if you don't want, I'm not ever going to become a barista, but I have a coffee program at my restaurant. So I need people that can make decent espressos, cappuccinos, whatever the customers want. So, and students run on caffeine, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it makes sense to incorporate the caffeine side into this. So we're not going to have an expansive coffee menu. We'll probably have 7 or 8 or 9 different coffees, some teas. It's going to be full of pastries that the baking students are making. So you'll be able to buy a range of, it's all going to be discounted. So if a Starbucks coffee is, I'm sorry, Starbucks, but if yours is $7, I don't have to make, and we don't have to make a profit. We have to cover costs. So hopefully I can make you a coffee for $3 that would have cost you $6 elsewhere, because that's the point. We're not here to make money out of this program. We're here for the kids to learn. And the more lattes they make, the better they are at them, right? The faster they make them, the more use they are then out in the industry, because they're used to a quick service. So we're going to be open a couple of hours every morning, probably something like 7 till 9:30. And then that coffee shop will supply the coffees for the restaurant in the evening. So we're hoping that's 4 days a week, Tuesday through Friday. We'll have the coffee shop open, purely because we want to prep everything fresh on the Monday. So we bake fresh products on the Tuesday morning, so everything is super fresh. You don't want to come in on Monday and eat Friday's pastries, right? So we leave that to other places to do. I won't name names, but you know. So that's the plan with that, and then in the evening we'll use those coffee machines to make the coffees for the guests in the restaurant. But I think there's enough employment out there in that field that you can get jobs as baristas, and most restaurants have good coffee programs too. So it's an offshoot of our industry.
So what would you like to see on the menu? Like, will it be a similar experience to Willow Ridge? Will like the pastries be for like different countries and be unique, or will they be like the same sort of thing?
I haven't 100% settled on anything yet. I think the idea is that the menu will be bigger than what we offer now. Excuse me. So at the moment we have like a set menu of 5 courses. In the old days when we first started at Willow, and I was a complete sort of Gordon Ramsay psychopath in the kitchen, I made the students learn 8 starters, 8 main courses, and then 5 desserts. And that was a lot. And it was tough. And then I would change that menu every 3 weeks, and they just got the hang of the menu, and I changed it again. So that was me being a bit nasty and a bit tough on them. So I've eased off, but I want to put that pressure back on. I actually want an a la carte menu this time. So we would probably, for each semester, have something like 10 different starters, 10 different main courses, 5 different desserts, and that would give them a lot more challenges to actually, it'd be more realistic to a real restaurant, rather than just having a set menu. So that's my plan, hopefully.
Oh yeah, can't wait to try those pastries.
Well, the pastry and the baking kids will make all the desserts, and the culinary kids will be making the starters and the main courses. But we'll have, every main course is going to be a different protein. So there's going to be everything from duck and venison and pork, chicken, you name it, different fish, snappers, groupers, sea bass.
So it's going to be more like a mix of like a coffee shop and a restaurant, so like people can sit down, or can they get a quick bite to eat like at the same time?
Well, we're going to be open for some lunch times and some dinners. At the moment, I've spent the last 17 years doing a lot of dinners, because we didn't have a facility where people would go for lunch. If you went to a golf course, they kind of want a hot dog or a hamburger. And most of my kids haven't come to culinary school to do hot dogs and hamburgers, right? They can make those at home already. So we would have a lunch menu, and we're talking about doing lunches on Thursdays and Fridays, and then dinners on Wednesdays and Thursdays, because a lot of my kids have jobs on Friday evenings, at local restaurants, and they're working. But that gives us Monday and Tuesday to kind of prep, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday lunch will be open. So discounted prices. It won't probably be part of the meal plan as such, but again, I'm not here to make money. We're not here to make money. So our steak sandwich might be $4 or $5 rather than someone local who's charging $10 or $12 for it, because obviously, are you wealthy? I haven't met a really wealthy student yet, so we're not here to make money out of being on campus. We're here about keeping my kids busy. Some of the faculty, I hope a lot of the faculty will come to it, but it should be priced. If you can spend $7 on a coffee, why don't come and have a steak sandwich and fries for $5 with us? So that's the plan.
I really wish they would have built it earlier.
Yeah.
Well, I've been here 18 years. I've been waiting a long time for this. So. But yeah, I mean, you know, I started in the old photography darkroom in the AST building. That was 2007, and you actually had the pipes in the room we were in cooking. You could hear people flushing the bathrooms above, and what's that rushing down there? I mean, it's inside the pipe. It's hygienic, but it just didn't sound great. So we've come a long way. We're in 20,000 square foot of kitchens now, and my first kitchen literally had 2 tables. We didn't even have a stove. 2 tables and 1 refrigerator, and we were learning how to cut and chop in this kitchen, and then we would go up to the golf course and cook up there. So it's come a long way, and it's a lot of fun. But every year I get ex-students come back and talk to my current students, and they're like, "You've got that, and you've got this is so unfair." So I'm like, we could always come back and do it again if you want, but it's just growth, unfortunately. So
I'm just waiting for my $1 million.
yeah, we all want an extra $1 million, right?
So what do you think this renovation and having a restaurant on campus mean for like the college as a whole?
I think Great Western Dining do a fantastic job here. But what I would also like to do is like take some of the sort of VIP meals when we've got visiting guests. Let's say you were on a campus tour, and you might have lunch in the CAF. Now you've got the option of booking us and going, hey, can we get a table of 8 for lunch in the student restaurant, and actually watch students work and be part of that. So not only just recruiting and retaining students at my department, but maybe you'll think, this is kind of neat. I haven't seen this at most other colleges. It's normally cafe-style food, but we've got this other option here. So I think a lot of groups will use me. Coming up I've got a golf fundraiser at Willow Ridge in 2 weeks' time. We just did the cheer alumni dinner at Willow Ridge. I've got a rugby banquet, a soccer banquet. So a lot of other groups do use Willow Ridge for their sporting dinners and awards dinners. That will obviously all move to campus as well, which again makes life a lot easier. We don't have to get a bus up there, all the boys or girls have to drive up to Willow Ridge. It's on here. So I think it'll become a little bit of a social hub. And guess what? We're getting a liquor license, right? Oh my gosh.
Here.
It'll be Iowa Central's first liquor license ever on campus.
So
I'm coming back.
I'm in charge of the keys for the cabinet, all right? So, but obviously when we're doing dinners, we're going to have wine tastings. We're going to do so many different things here. We've got to have a liquor license, but it is strictly over 21. Dr. Ulrich told me to mention that to you, all right?
so does that mean it's no longer a dry campus, technically?
I plead the fifth.
Oh my goodness.
It is a dry campus unless you're visiting guests having dinner at our restaurant. But there's not the bar we'll have will be more of a restaurant service bar than a sit down at the bar kind of thing. We're not planning on having a sort of cocktail bar, as it were. It's more an area where we're going to make the drinks and serve customers who are sitting down for dinner. So yeah, nice try.
So I could come back when I'm 21 and drink with my old instructors. Is
Absolutely, yeah. Why wouldn't you? Absolutely. No, we encourage that. Obviously, being from England, we start when we're about 9 when we're drinking, but you guys have got a bit of catching up to do, but it'll be fine.
Yeah, we're not sick of it yet.
You will be. One day you'll be. I've drunk everything. I don't need any more. So, cool.
I mean, well, thank you very much. That was pretty much
My
all
pleasure.
the questions we have.
No,